All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Luke Pipala Show. It's just me this episode. We're back in the OG studio. Shad wasn't able to be on this episode, but he will be back in the future anyway. So we're just gonna get right into it because this is quite the story. Jay-Z. I listened to Jay-Z on the way here. I actually predicted 9 months ago, 10 months ago actually. There's a Diddy episode when he got arrested, right? I predicted that Jay-Z was going to be next, right? The next domino, the next Hollywood domino to really fall in this house of cards. That is the Hollywood pedophile sex cult, essentially. All right, so here we go. I told you, we're going to get into it. This is a hell of an episode. Thank you for all clicking in. Please subscribe. And yeah, here we go. So this is from the New York Post. We love the Post. And we love the Post because they're free. Here we go. Jay-Z accused of raping. Am I allowed to say raping, by the way? I saw other people saying it, so hopefully I'm allowed to say it on YouTube. Here we go. Jay-Z accused of raping girl, 13, with Sean Diddy Combs more than 2 decades ago. A bombshell lawsuit that came out 2 days ago. Continuing on here, hip-hop legend Jay-Z has been accused of allegedly raping a 13-year-old girl with Sean Diddy Combs. We know Diddy, the diddler. To continue on, at the VMAs after party in New York 2 decades ago, the alleged victim, only identified as Jane Doe, to protect her identity, leveled the disturbing allegation in a newly refiled civil lawsuit filed in the Southern District of New York on Sunday. Interesting. Continuing on, the complaint was originally filed in October against Combs, but has since been amended to include Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter. Carter, though, lashed out at the allegations late Sunday, claiming in a statement that the alleged victim's lawyer refiled the complaint only after allegedly trying to blackmail him. Can we get this? Can we get what he said? Because what Jay-Z said, the way that he described himself is pretty funny, I'm not going to lie, because he called himself a young man, and last time I checked, Jay-Z is 55. All right, here we go. So this is Jay-Z's response, right? This is from the Rock Nation Twitter, and they put this out all over, right? But this was prepared minutes after the allegation came. Here we go. From Jay-Z, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt, called a demand letter, from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny, in all caps. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one! Exclamation point. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? That's a little bit weird because less than a year ago you were appearing with Diddy publicly, who is accused of all these things, but nevertheless, at its base, is an animal, was caught on camera beating his then-girlfriend, Cassie, in a hotel, denied it, and then the video came out, and all the sheeps and the wolves, I guess, were revealed. So that's a little bit weird. Continuing on, these alleged victims deserve real justice, if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you I've seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine? Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. By the way, this Tony Busby, I will say he is a pretty decorated lawyer. In the past, he has defended the, I believe, all of, if not some of, the accusers of what Deshaun Watson did, and there's a bunch of other high-profile cases, but that's the biggest one. Okay, so let's keep this in mind. This is not just a sham lawyer. This guy, I mean, he's been through it. You know, he has medals, right? He's a very decorated lawyer. Continuing on, my only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims, and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice, meant to destroy families and human spirits. Sir, I will just interrupt this by saying you openly cheated on your wife, and you put it on your album as material. You profited off of cheating on your wife. So do not lecture me or anybody in the public spreading these stories about ruining a family. Sir, you did it on your own. Continuing on, my heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man. He's 55, man. Come on. I'm a young man who made it out the project of Brooklyn. You did. We don't play these type of games. We have very strict honors and very strict codes and honors. I'm sorry. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for your personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the serious surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. So that was from Jay-Z. Listen, did Jay-Z do what he is being accused of? I don't know, right? This is all he allegedly was involved in doing this. I don't want to say the R word on YouTube. With a 13-year-old girl and Diddy. But let's talk about this, right? Because now people went down the rabbit hole. Things have been uncovered about Jay-Z, particularly song lyrics, in reference to, wait for it, falling in love with a young girl. This is from the Daily Mail. It says right here, troubling Jay-Z lyrics resurface about him falling in love with a young girl amid Diddy rape allegations. Oops, it said it. Please don't censor us, YouTube. Jay-Z lyrics about falling for a teen girl have resurfaced after the rapper was accused of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl back in 2000. The 55-year-old rap mogul, real name Sean Carter, has appeared on Pharrell Williams' 2006 song, Young Girl, rapping of an interaction with a 19-year-old. Quote, Hove got a young girl, still not quite 21. You're 19? No. You're lightning in a bottle, I give you a ring tomorrow. The scene that follows screams of horror, he raps on the track. Other lines include, Mama, don't you think you should take someone? Hold on, what? Okay, other lines include, Mama, don't think you should take someone so advanced in romance. You should just wait. Hove don't bite. Hove been through it. I might mold your life. Be like Janet. Take control of your life. The lyrics reemerge on social media as a thread on X discussing how Carter had met his now wife Beyonce when she was 19. The early days of their relationship have come under scrutiny after Carter was hit with the civil suit that claims he assaulted a teenager with Sean Diddy Combs. Some social media users expressed shock for the lyrics, calling one of them absolutely frickin' hideous on so many levels. Which is true. Those lyrics are very disturbing, another user replied to the X thread. So, I mean, we're talking about this, right? Here's another one. Another supporter. 19's not grooming. It's well past the legal age, one supporter wrote. 19 is not a child, which is true. But according to Beyonce, listen to this. According to Beyonce, the pair had met when she was 18 and friends for a year before things turned romantic. The Daily Mail article says too. Another resurfaced image shows Carter at a nightclub in Dallas in 1998 watching Beyonce, then 16, perform with Destiny's Child. That's always been weird, right? It's always been a little bit weird, that whole relationship dynamic and exactly when Beyonce was of legal age, right? But I just want to bring you back to this one more time, fellas. I want everybody to kind of remember, do you all remember that infamous Rock Nation brunch, right? That infamous Rock Nation brunch. It was a bunch of people that were supposed to be there, right? You had Jay-Z, Diddy, Meek Mill, and then you had somebody like Leonard Fournette, which I don't know any reason why Leonard Fournette was supposed to be there. He's not even close to being a billionaire, but nevertheless, he was there. And I mean, look at this, man. You could tell that Jay-Z knew that something was going on. Look at his face. So we'll play this for you, and we can react to it together. Here we go.
It's 2020, y'all, and it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch. It's 2020.
Let's play this again.
And it's different than when it was.
Can I go in on Jay-Z's face? Can I? I can't. Look at Jay-Z's face right here. Okay? Look at this. He knows some shit's coming, right? Diddy had no clue, right? He had no clue at all. But look at Jay-Z, man. Look at that face. He knows right here. He knows it's only a matter of time before this house of cards falls. Look at him, man. He's like, okay,
You know, the game has been elevated.
we gotta get out of here.
As we can tell, there's no expense.
No expense being spared, which was true, okay? Which was most definitely true. They really like to celebrate. And Diddy, being as flamboyant as he was very flashy. Anyway, so a lot of people in media, okay? Jay obviously controls a lot of media. He's a very wealthy person. This is a big hit, okay? If true. And so a lot of people online, we, the people, rightfully so, were very skeptical of Jay-Z after this, right? Of course. But notice how a couple people in the media that are very much connected to Jay-Z and Diddy, and these groups own the companies that we see pro Jay-Z talk being spewed, right? So this is from Charlemagne the God and the Breakfast Club. And Charlemagne basically defended Jay-Z, even though he has such close ties to Diddy. It's very interesting. So take a listen, and then we'll talk about it after.
Because Jay-Z went on and filed an extortion suit against Busby. They're basically saying all of that is going to show y'all what we've been saying, that this is all just a publicity stunt. These are people chasing dollars.
Well, good for Hov. I'm glad Jay-Z responded just like that, because this has been going on for too long. It is a grift. These accusers go to these lawyers with all these salacious claims. The lawyer will put more sauce on the salacious claims. They reach out to your team and say, if you don't settle with us, we're going to go public with these claims. They'll tell you that they're going to hold a press conference. We're going to do interviews. And a lot of people settle because they don't want the bad press.
Where they don't have the money to
It happens all the time. And like you said, the problem is it's very expensive, right? When you get these civil suits, it's very expensive. And like Charlemagne said, you'll go to the press.
Yep.
They'll make these press conferences. And what they want to do is they want to make sure that you lose money. They want to make sure that you lose endorsements, lose sponsorships, lose everything until you get to the point where you be like, you know what, let me just pay them off and get away from them. But Jay got enough to say, look, I'm going to fight this all the way now.
Because Jay-Z went on and filed a suit.
You heard it from Charlemagne's mouth. A lot of people settle because they hate the bad press. So that's that. But very telling, right? Very interesting. Why is Charlemagne the God with a lowercase g? It should be. Defending Jay-Z, right? Now I get what he's trying to say, but the fact that he was so closely associated with Diddy for such a long amount of time, damn near 3 decades, I don't know if being cocky like this and so sure that these people are after money is a good look. We've already seen, Cat Williams said it, we already saw how all of this stuff has started to fall. I mean, look, you talk about Diddy, right? You talk about, I predicted this, Oprah. You watch what happens to Oprah, by the way, because all these allegations, Ellen too. Why do you think Ellen left the country, realistically? Do you think it was because she was so scared of Trump? No, she was living in America for 8 years when 4 years, when Trump was the president. And look, nothing bad happened. I think there's a little bit more to that, and we'll see. But, I mean, very interesting stuff when we talk about the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne defending Jay-Z, but there's more. There's always more when it comes to this shit, right? So Beyonce's obviously married to Jay-Z. We talked about that, the age and when they started to see each other, right? A little bit fishy. Whatever. Well, Beyonce has so far lost 7 million followers in 2024 in 30 hours, right? This was 30 hours before, right? You see right here, Beyonce. And this is from a Spanish account. But Beyonce, 320 million followers right here. Right now, she's down to 313 million. And let's check, right? Let's just check and see how many followers she has right now, because I'm really actually curious to see what the follower count is today. So right here, it is still 313. Crazy, though. It is absolutely nuts that Beyonce lost followers because of this, right? And so now you're going to see, are her fans who are, I wouldn't say they're as bad as Taylor Swift fans in terms of their devotion, right? But are her fans going to defend somebody accused of these allegations who Beyonce has said publicly? She said publicly that she's sticking by her man. I mean, good for him if he's innocent, but if he's not, that's not a good look, Queen. And she is the queen, but that's not a good look. Not a good look at all. So that'll be very interesting to see how she defends her man and defends her paper, ultimately. Because Jay-Z and Beyonce have a lot of investments that they're involved in, whether that's Rock Nation, whether that's all these endorsement deals, or whether that's the NFL. And that's another thing that we're about to pull up too. So Jay-Z, obviously, CEO of Rock Nation, big part of Rock Nation, the leader of this company, very heavily involved with the NFL. So now people are saying, since Kendrick Lamar, you accuse Drake of being a pedophile. Well, if your boss, who organized the Super Bowl, and you are working under now, if he's a pedophile, then what do you do? And so here's Roger Goodell commenting on the Super Bowl halftime show, which is all orchestrated by Rock Nation, and talking about what they're going to do. So it's very interesting. We're going to take a listen.
And Jay-Z's really strong response to that. And we know that obviously the litigation's happening now, so, but from our standpoint, our relationship's not changing with them, including our preparations for the next Super Bowl. The first part of your question is how the relationship's evolving. I think they're getting incredibly comfortable with not just the Super Bowl, but other events that they've advised us on, helped us with. It's been helpful in the social justice area to us.
So it doesn't look like the relationship with Goodell and the NFL is in jeopardy yet. But we'll see if these allegations are if they're true, which right now obviously it's all an allegation. Man, I don't know. I do not know. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out because, I mean, like I've been saying, man, it's only a matter of time if this is all true. Like, Hollywood is being held together right now with a piece of bubble gum and a Band-Aid. Like, that's just how it is. The whole house of cards is being completely eviscerated, completely falling apart. And if this is a dam filling up with water, like, eventually this dam's going to break if it hasn't already. So it's very interesting, man. But the people are speaking, and the people are... They want to see Jay-Z go down. I mean, if he's innocent, I hope he doesn't go down. But if he is guilty, then you best be sure that he will not be the last one. Like I said, Oprah, we're coming for you. The internet, people, the truth will come out if it's all true. So we'll see. I mean, Ellen, like I said, Ellen fled the country, and I guarantee it's not because of Trump. But whatever, right? Next topic. I could go on about that all day, and I really would love to, but we have many more topics. So the killer of Brian Thompson, the former CEO of UnitedHealthcare, because he's dead, Luigi Mangione, I think that's how you say his name. A lot of stuff has been coming out about Luigi, but one thing was the Manifesto. The Manifesto for killing former CEO Brian Thompson of UnitedHealthcare. Very interesting. We're going to read it to you. Here we go. To the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary school engineering, basic CAD, a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-dos that illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. Are you sure? A reminder, the U.S. has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly 42nd in life expectancy. This is true. United is indecipherable. Largest company in the U.S. market cap, behind only Apple, Google, and Walmart. That's a little interesting. Nevertheless, we shall continue. It has grown and grown, but as our life expectancy, no. The reality is these indecipherable, whatever that means, whatever he was trying to write, have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem's more complex, but I do not have space, and frankly, I do not intend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. I mean, you killed the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, so I would like to hear what you have to say, and you should probably say all of it. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. And this is Luigi. The internet is drooling over Luigi. Man, I don't know. I don't know how do you justify killing somebody? I mean, I get what he's saying is like it's very true, right? And I can understand where he's coming from. I don't think killing somebody should ever be justified. But I just don't think that. I mean, yes, he does have a point. Obviously, we're 42nd when it comes to life expectancy in the world. I mean, that is true, yet we do rank number 1 in terms of the most expensive healthcare. I mean, but when you compare like other countries, we have people that we know from Italy, for example. And this man, his brother ended up passing away in Italy, and he was basically complaining about the healthcare system, saying, listen, it's socialized healthcare, but that means that the wait time is so long because you're servicing so many people and they don't have the resources to be able to get everybody in and out quick, and money is a huge incentive for that. So there's pros and cons of everything. I'm not saying that this guy was necessarily wrong in his thought. I am saying he was wrong to kill. Killing people shouldn't be okay, because now this sets a precedent, especially if he's found innocent. So I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, he was an engineer, a smart guy, a good-looking guy. Objectively, I'm not gay, but very interesting. But speaking of the killing of the UnitedHealthcare CEO, right? We all know Bill Burr. Bill Burr is funny. He's a comedian, right? He's hilarious. It's Bill Burr. Everybody knows Bill Burr. But Bill Burr had a comment, and a particular comment about the killing of the UnitedHealthcare CEO, and I'm not going to lie, he kind of justified it and said it was okay. So we're just going to play this, and here we go.
You know what's annoying me about this kid who killed this CEO is none of these news programs are talking about the incredible lack of empathy from the general public about this because of how these insurance companies treat people when they are at their most vulnerable, after we've all given them our money every fucking month, and now we finally need you, and all you do is deny us. And then these pussies and all of these things are taking the pictures of their CEOs off their websites. You know, I got to be honest with you, okay? I love that fucking CEOs are fucking afraid right now. You should be.
What? What? What are you saying, dude? I'm not defending all the people with the big money, because I largely don't like these people too. But I don't think that violence is the way to go.
By and large, you're all a bunch of selfish, greedy fucking pieces of shit, and a lot of you are mass murderers.
Maybe they're greedy, but does that mean they need to die? I don't think we should justify killing anybody. I mean, you're a comedian. You call yourself a comedian. You're hilarious. This isn't funny, man.
You just don't pull the trigger. That's why it looks clean. That's why these people look, oh my God, oh, he was
Might
just,
have a point with that.
you know, walking into a hotel. It's like, okay, but what was his job? What did he do? What was the results of it? You know what's annoying me about this kid who killed this CEO is none of these news programs are talking about the incredible lack of empathy from the general.
Oh, that's a replay. I'm curious, though, because Bill Burr is coming at this from the perspective of somebody who is poor and is not able to get good quality health care. And last time I checked, Bill Burr was a very rich man. Let's just Google Bill Burr's net worth, and then we can have a good discussion about this. Let's see. Bill Burr net worth. Oh, it's 14 million. Oh. I don't get it. I don't get it. I hear his wife hates Trump, and I mean, we've all seen the video of Bill Burr's wife hating Trump and flipping him off at the UFC event, which is largely an independent thing. A lot of people that go there, though, do like Trump. So that was very interesting. I just don't get why you would justify. I mean, I understand people that justify it if, like, they're, say they don't have healthcare, right? And no, even then, I really don't think that it's a good thing to justify wanting to kill somebody or killing somebody just in general. It doesn't feel right to me. Now, obviously, right, I have Starbucks, right? This would appear to mean that I have lots of money, but not as much as Bill Burr. I barely have anything compared to Bill Burr. To me, Bill Burr is the elite. You know, he's one of the elites. it's just very interesting to see people in power pandering to the people that are struggling. You know, because once again, Bill Burr, when COVID hit, he wasn't struggling, he wasn't suffering. Bill Burr, when COVID hit, he still had a job. He was still doing a podcast. He didn't have a business that was forced to close, or I don't think he's religious, but for what I think anyway, I don't think that he was being told by his church like they couldn't go to church, or he couldn't have gatherings with his friends. Like in California, all the people that were elites, you saw Gavin Newsom, he wasn't wearing a mask, he was attending dinners with multiple people. It's just a lot of hypocrisy, and it's a shame because I like Bill Burr. I think Bill Burr's hilarious, but I don't think that justifying killing people is a good thing. I mean, call me crazy, but I just don't think that justifying killing people is a good thing. Now, do I agree with him on the principle? Yeah, I think that healthcare is way too expensive in this country, and yes, he does have a point. We are 42nd in life expectancy. We're supposed to be the greatest country in the world. We should at least try and pay some attention to that. And I think with RFK coming in, and kind of taking a hammer to the whole system, I think that's going to be good. And I think you're going to see life expectancy go up because we have all these harmful food chemicals that somebody is going to take out. Because with RFK overseeing everything, I can guarantee you that there's going to be some big changes. But I don't know, man. I just don't think that justifying killing people is a good thing. I just don't. Anyway, continuing on to the next topic. So I saw this over the weekend, and I just had to comment on this because this is very bizarre. So everybody knows Brett Favre, right? And Brett Favre, historically, how do I even say it? When Michael Strahan was playing, and he was chasing down to get the sack record, the record for the most sacks in an NFL season. What happened was Brett Favre saw he was about to get sacked by Michael Strahan, but just to make sure, he fell and then let Michael Strahan tackle him. And now that was essentially seen as like Brett Favre like falling so Michael Strahan could get that guaranteed sack. But so this is really interesting. This is a confrontation for the guy that held the NFL single season sack record, Mark Gastineau, and he held this record for 22 years, or rather, it's been 22 years since he lost the sack record. And this is very interesting. So he blames Brett Favre for allowing him to not have that sack record anymore. Which this is really weird because this guy looks old as dirt, and you can tell Brett Favre's like, "Oh, what are we doing?" Listen to this.
I thought we met a long time ago. At least I saw you.
Right.
How you doing?
When you fell down for him. I'm going to get my sack back. I'm going to get my sack back, dude.
You probably would hurt me.
Well, I don't care.
What?
You hurt me.
This guy, Mark Gastineau, I'm pretty sure he's like in his 70s. Why are you complaining to Brett Favre about losing the single season sack record? So what? Records are meant to be broken. These things happen. Look at this guy, man. Look how old he looks.
You hurt me. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
You really hurt me.
I mean, Brett Favre's at a charity event signing NFL helmets. Like, what is this guy doing? Look at this guy. Look how old he is.
You hurt me, Brett.
We got to get back to this, Brett. I'm sorry.
Anybody?
Oh my gosh. Look at this. Look at this. This guy, he looks like Roz from Monsters, Inc. Look at this. And by the way, this guy's like 70, right? You can obviously tell he's recording this in a gym. You could obviously tell he doesn't work out. But look, you are too old to be rocking a mullet, sir. What are we doing? Look at this. Look at what he says.
We'll tell you Brett Favre took a dive. And you know it.
Holy shit. This is Roz. This is Roz from Monsters, Inc. He's going to say, I'm always watching Wazowski. You watch.
She knows it, he knows it, and everybody knows it. I didn't know what had
You
happened.
look better there.
The NFL should have stopped that and said, listen, no. That's not a sack. He took my record away from me.
Mark Gastineau's record of 22 sacks in a single season, which he achieved in 1984, stood until the final minutes of the 2001 season.
Look, there it is. It's barely anything.
Gets the sack. And you know what? No one's happier than Brett Favre. He gets the record. Well, he got a gimme is what he got.
There was
So
nobody else that wanted Michael to get that more than Brett, and he showed it right there.
Who cares, man? Who cares? Why are you let's Google how old Mark Gastineau is, just out of curiosity, because I'm interested to know. Mark Gastineau, he is 68. Okay, so he's not 70 something. He's 68. Hear me out. If you're 68, why do you care about something that happened 30 years ago? Now, maybe something tragic happened, but this is freaking sports. How do you not have a family to worry about? You know what I mean? How are you 68 wanting to hurt Brett Favre, who this really had nothing to do with Mark Gastineau? This just happened, man. This thing just happened. But I have never seen the amount of pettiness in a former athlete like I have here, man. This is, like I said, this is Roz from Monsters, Inc. It's just... It was very awkward for Brett Favre. Now, Brett Favre has obviously had his issues, right, in the past. Accusations of him defrauding an insurance company, I believe it was, or defrauding a charity, actually. But regardless of that, dude, that was very odd. It was very odd. Anyway, speaking of odd, we have a clip. We have multiple clips. The View. We don't like The View per se, but The View is necessary, in my opinion. The View is something where we can see 5 to 6 women making an ass of themselves 5 times a week, and just with awful takes, but brilliant comedy. So this is The View, and on this particular clip, Whoopi Goldberg and Ana Navarro, 2 names that I have known to love. I'm known to love these 2 names. I've really grown to love these 2 names. They were at each other's throats, debating the fear level of the incoming Trump administration, okay? Listen to this.
He does this to keep you all in a panic. He does it to make you all do this and talk about it, but it's so terrible. But all we have to do from now until January.
She's on Ozempic, by the way. Google Whoopi Goldberg from 2022, and then look at her now. She was looking like Bob the Tomato. Now she's looking very fit. I mean, good for her, but let's not play around here.
21st is be with our families, be with our kids.
You can.
Do our jobs, make sure our checks don't bounce, make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and our families. Whatever he's going to do, he's going to do. But do take our word for it. Things seem to move slowly because, yeah, they didn't come get Hillary.
That's right.
But he has other people who are ready to go. But I don't think that they can just go out and do what they want to do.
No, wait, I told you last week I disagree with you when you say that. Because we have the luxury of saying...
This one, too, is also on Ozempic, by the way.
That because we're legal, we are successful, we are. But if you're an illegal immigrant in this country, you're not going to be not in a panic. If you are a woman.
Because hear me out. Ana Navarro says if you are an illegal immigrant in this country, you are going to be in a panic, and that is because, hear me out, you didn't come here the legal way. Now, do I support a mass deportation? You gotta go with the criminals first, right? Me and Shad have both said this. You gotta go with the criminals first. And then, our opinion, if you're a productive member of society, we believe in a path to citizenship. Don't just kick this person out. But they want to do mass deportations. I mean, technically they did come in here illegally. So it's quite interesting. Let's see how this plays out.
Working for the Department of Defense, you have a right to be in a panic.
You tell people to stay fraught and like this.
Oh, she's having a meltdown.
I'm telling people to prepare, Whoopi.
I'm telling people to prepare. They are prepared.
So that means that they can't be relaxing and enjoying Christmas.
No, it doesn't mean that.
When winter is coming.
No, it does. You know what? I'm sorry.
I mean, I disagree.
Winter is here.
Is she gonna storm off the set?
Winter's been with us, and my point is, we can lay down and do nothing for the next 15 days, and then be freaking out for the next 4 or 2 years.
But we are in a privileged position that a lot of people who are going to be under his attack
who is going through the same thing.
My gosh.
We have to figure out what we're panicking for. We don't know what we're panicking for. They're throwing 50,000 things at you to make you do this. I'm saying don't buy into that. Do what you have to do Take care of your family.
Gotta take care of your family.
And when we know what is happening, when we know what we're fighting, we'll get out and fight.
Yes, we will.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't do anything. I'm saying don't be this, because nobody can do it.
I think people need to prepare.
Would you like us to stop? All right, we'll be right back.
Once again, the View at this point, they mainly exist, number one, because they have that target audience, their core audience that will never leave them, the divorced white women who are wine drunk at 11 a.m., off the Percocet, right? Putting their feet out. We talked about this before. Putting their feet out and ordering the nanny to come over, and the nanny's undocumented, of course. Ordering the nanny to come over, and they prop their feet on top of the nanny. And when she says, "Oh, señorita, I got to go clean, limpiar," and the lady says, "She goes, shut up. She goes, shut up. I'll deport you." Just like that, like literally. So that's their target audience. And Whoopi Gold. I mean, this is. The rest of us who watch The View, you see right here, right? 169K, right here. That clip on Breaking 911, 169K views. That is more views than The View gets in a day. And the rest of us, the other fans of The View, we exist because we view this as comedic satire. And we don't take any of it serious, and we love it, and we wish it would never end. That's just it. So we have more view of The View, actually. But we will get to that in a second. So, Daniel Penny. Couple more topics, and then I'll shut the hell up, and I'll be on my merry way. It's going to be a great night of editing. But Daniel Penny. So, Daniel Penny was found innocent. We talked about him, right? We're not going to talk about him much anymore after this episode. But for the past year, Daniel Penny's life has been made hell because he was accused of killing Jordan Neely. It was self-defense. He was defending a subway car full of people who were being threatened by Jordan Neely because Jordan Neely had continuously threatened to kill everybody on that subway. He was getting violent. Daniel Penny stopped him, okay? Put him in a chokehold, ended up killing him in self-defense. So this is Daniel Penny. He was talking about, listen, I don't want to celebrate, really. I just want to, if I had to again, I would protect the people in that car, but that's it. Listen to this.
I mean, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't really extend myself. I think this type of thing is very uncomfortable. All this attention and limelight is very uncomfortable, and I would prefer without it. I didn't want any type of attention or praise, and I still don't. Mm-hmm. The guilt I would have felt if someone did get hurt, if he did do what he was threatening to do, would never be able to live with myself. And I'll take 1 million court appearances and people calling me names and people hating me just to keep one of those people from getting hurt or killed. I mean, I'm not a confrontation.
By the way, look at this too. I heard recently from I was watching, I think it was the Young Turks, somewhere where Cenk Uygur was, and he was saying Janine Shapiro or Judge Shapiro is a drunk. Look at this face. Hold on, let's find it. Look at this face. I'm gonna find it. I should find it. Look at her face. We're gonna look here.
For without it.
1 second. So we're gonna continue to play and find this face.
Attention.
I'm gonna find the still of her, just a close up.
And I still
if it'll play. Here we go. Look at this lady. Look at this face. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. But anyway, Daniel Penny continues to talk about how he doesn't like the limelight. He still doesn't like the limelight. It makes him uncomfortable. This guy is a hero. He literally said, once again, I don't want any type of attention. I'll take 1 million court appearances and people calling me names and people hating on me just to keep one of those people from getting hurt or killed. The guy's a hero, and I think he's repeatedly been unjustly accused of all of this. We saw the video. We saw Jordan Neely, who's obviously being violent and being threatening towards all these people. I just don't know why people are saying that it's a bad thing that he's innocent. But now we're going to go back to The View. So Whoopi Goldberg is very upset about Jordan Neely. It's a lot of names. Whoopi Goldberg is very upset about Daniel Penny celebrating in a bar, right? Because he did celebrate in a bar. He was in a bar with family and friends after the trial. Because once again, a year of his life was made hell because he decided to defend people from a schizophrenic man in a subway car, right? So Whoopi Goldberg, though, she was uncomfortable. Listen to this, because it's very, once again, telling about how crazy some people on the left are, okay? Whoopi Goldberg does not know objective truth, and we're going to prove it to you right here.
There's been polarizing reaction to this verdict as well. I don't know. I don't know that seeing them celebrating in a bar made me comfortable. You know? I mean, you killed a guy. The man is dead, and maybe you take the celebration home. You don't do it outside. But that's just me. Don't listen to anything I say.
Whoopi Goldberg, I would like to remind you that the Clintons have killed like 47 people. And what also, I would like to pose the question to you as well, Whoopi. What happened to the Obama chef? The chef that was supposedly so good at swimming, he would post videos and videos onto his Instagram about how great of a swimmer he was, yet he died drowning in the Obama's Martha's Vineyard home in 2 feet of water. That's a little bit odd. You have no right to talk about this man and how he killed somebody and it made you uncomfortable. All the people that you carry water for in the Democratic Party make us feel uncomfortable, and yet you still carry water for them. So once again, this is why The View is entirely a joke. But it's great to watch for a lot of comedic reflection, I will say that. We have one more topic today, folks, and it is Kraven the Hunter. Guys, my brothers and I, my family and I, we wanted to go see this movie. We really wanted to go see this movie, but a big problem has occurred. The Rotten Tomatoes score has come out on Kraven the Hunter. And this is a comedy podcast a lot of the times, but it's also news too. We're going to report on this, and this Rotten Tomatoes score is comedic because Sony's Kraven the Hunter has debuted with a 14% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. Look at that. Look at that. They gave it the green splat based off of 43 reviews from Rotten Tomatoes. Look, they gave it the dreaded green splat. This is not good. This is not good. Kraven the Hunter, they recently released 8 minutes, the first 8 minutes of Kraven the Hunter. When this came out, when the trailer came out, when they announced that they were going to make a Kraven the Hunter movie, a standalone movie, there was a big sigh of disgust from the comic book community, from the Marvel movie fan community, from every superhero community. This is just another BS movie, another pointless movie in Sony's Spider-Man villain universe, whatever you would call it. It's not successful at all. Okay, you have the 3 Venom movies, which are hits, box office wise. The critics are out on all 3 of them. Mixed reviews, right? But they're fun. It's a fun trilogy. We're gonna admit that. Even the third one, I think the third one recently tripled its budget. The third Venom movie. Haven't seen that one yet, but I saw the first 2. Very good. Then you have Morbius, which tanked. Absolutely tanked. You have Jared Leto, doesn't matter, tanked. Didn't watch it. Then you have Madam Web. Also tanked. Did not make a profit at all. Actually, really terrible, despite having great actors and actresses. A lot of great actresses in that movie. Doesn't matter. Tanked. Completely tanked. Done. Zilch. Done. And then you have Kraven. So people were optimistic about Kraven, man. You have people like Russell Crowe. You have people like Aaron Taylor Johnson starring as Kraven. You would think that the movie would do decent, rated R. This is one of Spider-Man's better villains. A great villain. A villain that they thought they were going to use in Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland before it became No Way Home. And what people thought would maybe be the villain of 4 with Tom Holland. But now this is having a 14%. I would just like to say, on behalf of the entire internet, we all predicted this. We all predicted it would be so bad. And it hasn't even come out yet. And I guarantee it is not going to make a profit. And hopefully Sony Pictures will finally decide to stop making Spider-Man spinoffs and just make a movie with Spider-Man. You are literally guaranteed $1 billion. Guaranteed $1 billion. Or close. It does not matter. It is a layup. Just put Spider-Man in the movie. They literally, they advertised Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man being in Morbius. We've all seen the trailer, and he's in the trailer. A poster of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is in the trailer on a building when Morbius is walking past. Well, in the movie, that scene is removed. They literally put Spider-Man on a poster in the trailer just to make you go see this movie that they knew sucked. And it bombed. And it was bad. It's all been bad. Venom is the one silver lining in this. Even the critics are out on those movies. But those movies make money because Venom is so close to Spider-Man. And Venom is such a great character. But this, it's going to have a cult following. And that cult following is going to be very, very small. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully Sony just stops. Stop making Spider-Man spin-off movies. If you're going to make a movie, make it with Spider-Man. I know. That's a little crazy. That's a little bit nuts. I'm getting a little frustrated. That's a little bit nuts, but it's just crazy because the fans, I know the people, the big hotshot producers in Hollywood, they always want to think that they're right, okay? They always want to think that they're right. I grew up with shitty superhero movies until... I grew up with the Spider-Man movies, which were all good, all the Raimi movies, which were good. But then it took a lot of shitty movies. There were a lot of bad Hulk. There was a bad Hulk movie, 2 bad Fantastic Four movies, a bad Ghost Rider movie. X3 was not good. The Last Stand was not good. There was a period, Daredevil sucked, Elektra sucked, Catwoman was bad. There were a lot of bad superhero movies before I was introduced to Iron Man. And once the MCU came along, they changed the game. And so you see Sony trying to copy with the Sony universe of supervillains. Not good. I personally hope that they reboot the character, or they make Aaron Taylor Johnson's Kraven the Hunter. They make a variant of him because it looks like he could potentially be great at it, but give him the accent because I know he doesn't have the accent and he's just like a regular English person, American speaking. No. Give him the Russian accent. Keep the same exact outfit. I showed you guys the same exact outfit is great, but I think the problem in the movie is that they made him like an animal protector, and he respects animals, but he's a hunter, and that's literally why he hunts Spider-Man. So I don't know, man. We'll see. But ultimately, this it's gonna be interesting to see what this movie makes. So that'll be that. But once again, folks, it's been a solo podcast. Maybe this isn't what you wanted. Maybe you clicked on this episode not knowing what it would be. Maybe you thought it would be about Jay-Z and nothing else. We're 48 minutes in, and I would just like to thank you for, if you have continued to watch. Hopefully this will be the last solo episode for a long time. Shad will be back. We're very close to being able to monetize our channel, our episodes. Memberships are coming, merch is coming. That's really it. I hope that you laughed, maybe you cried a little bit, you definitely cringed, but ultimately this is what happens when you have a solo episode. So yeah, I'm not gonna go see Kraven. I'm just thinking, man, like, is Jay-Z gonna be allowed to go near schools now? Obviously this is all like alleged and stuff like that. But I'm just thinking in my head, man, what if somebody, there's a random person on the street like, oh, it's a pedophile. No, that's Jay-Z. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that was stupid to say. I know there's a lot of outrage about his daughter being 12, and I guess people are turned on by a 12-year-old in the online, which is also very predatory as well. I don't think we should be looking at 12-year-olds like that, but everybody has their thing, and we should strongly discourage that because That's not normal. So let's not encourage that weird behavior talking about a 12-year-old. That's not okay at all. That's really it. I'm going to look into your soul real quick. If you're planning on going to see Kraven, I mean, please don't do it. You're going to waste your money. I'm not going. I said I might go, but I'm not going. I'm not going. That's it.